So our next speaker is an experienced IT practitioner and a passionate advocate to the special needs community. Professionally, she has built a solid career in information technology, navigating complex system and digital transformation projects with a precision and problem-solving mindset that only a seasoned expert can bring. But beyond her professional achievements, she wears her most important title with pride, Mama to two beautiful daughters. Her eldest was born with Down syndrome, and her younger child is on the autism spectrum. These lived experiences have given her a deep personal understanding of the unique challenges and joys of parenting children with disabilities. She is currently the president of Espesyal Pinoy, Singapore, a registered Filipino society that supports families of persons with disabilities living in Singapore. Under her leadership, the organization has grown into a vibrant and supportive community that celebrates inclusion, empowerment, and Filipino resilience abroad. In the past, our second speaker also volunteered her time with Down Syndrome Association of Singapore. Today, she dedicates most of her time and energy to leading Espesyal Pinoy and advancing initiatives that bring visibility, connection, and support to Filipino families navigating the world of special needs. Her advocacy is grounded in both her technical knowledge and her heart as a mother. Whether she's troubleshooting systems at work or building systems of care and support for the community, this multi-talented mom is committed to making a meaningful difference, one project, one family, and one conversation at a time. Friends, let us all welcome Tracy Holapong Lemke.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Frida. Do you see my screen?
Not yet.
Is that all right?
Okay, you have the cover slide, yes.
Thank you. Hello again, everyone. My name is Tracy. I'm mom to a beautiful daughter named Kiona, and she was born with Down syndrome. I wanted to share to you today not a story of hardship, but one of growth, love, and learning. I first learned about her condition moments after waking up from recovery right after giving birth. The pediatrician mentioned that her APGAR score wasn't perfect and that there were signs that she might have Down syndrome. My first thought was not, why us? It was, how can I make sure she doesn't get bullied? When I first saw her, she was pinkish, like you see in the picture, and looked swollen. She didn't resemble either of us, and I honestly wasn't sure what to think at the time. I checked. She has hands, feet, and everything in place, so I didn't see anything wrong. But with little knowledge, I only knew one thing. She would have limitations than other typical kids. My prayer was simple, that one day she would walk and speak. At 18 months, she took her first steps and turned out to be a runner. But even now, expressing herself with words remains a challenge. At home, visitors come daily, family, friends, even members of our community group. I could sense their curiosity, but I chose not to dwell on it. No one really knew what to say then, but their hugs and kind smiles brought comfort. My mother-in-law helped us support financially, and I was grateful. But emotionally, I had to lean on myself and on my faith. I turned into internet for information, and I had to sift through a lot. Some advice was outdated or unhelpful, but I did my best to learn for Kiona's sake. Weeks later, we found out Kiona had congenital heart defects, ASD, VSD, PDA. Months later, I got pregnant again. People talked, and them saying that's irresponsible was really stressful. I understood. My firstborn needed extra care, and we are struggling financially, and another child was on the way. But still, I pushed forward. At the time, surgery wasn't required, but she needed daily maintenance medications, and they were expensive. My mother-in-law continued to support us. On top of that, I was blessed to land on remote projects from Singapore and US. It wasn't much, but it allowed me to stay home and be fully present for both children during the most formative years. That kind of presence is priceless. Equally priceless was the foundation my mother gave me. Her unwavering faith, quiet strength, and deeply rooted values became my anchor. Because of her, I had the resilience to keep going, stay grounded, and hold on to hope even when things felt like they were falling apart. And through it all, my sister was the wind beneath my wings, always lifting me up, encouraging me when I doubted myself, reminding me of what mattered when I lost sight of it, and most of all, fighting for me when I couldn't fight for myself. That's truly a godsend, my guardian angel. I may not be able to name each one, but I carry the strength of every hand that held me and every heart that believed in me during those early, uncertain days. We made the most of what we had. We used government therapy services. They were not perfect, but that's enough for Kiona to get started. And looking back, it was a blessing because it showed us how difficult and expensive therapy could be when we later moved to Singapore. During our early years in Singapore, we tried to be very creative. We leaned into play and fun. We were bonding through activities that helped Kiona grow in her own way. We signed her up for classes offered by Down Syndrome Association of Singapore, such as visual arts, Aikido, gymnastics, and dancing. We brought in working students to play with her or assist her with her tabletop activities, particularly on days when we are away from work. Back then, we were blessed to have a nanny who was also passionate at educating and training Kiona. Kiona experienced many forms of therapy, not always the ones you find in formal IEP, but the ones we could manage and afford. Looking back, I truly believe it was all meant to be. The therapies, the schools she ended up in felt like God sent. In a bigger picture, they all made sense. And for a long time, Kiona was doing okay. But when she was 8, her cardiologist said it was time. She needed open heart surgery to correct her heart defects. Even with jobs in Singapore, our take-home pay couldn't cover the cost. That's when Espesyal Pinoy stepped in. They raised funds and shared our story. Support came from relatives, friends, colleagues, strangers, and everyone. We were very grateful because that campaign fully funded her surgery and recovery. I have learned that if you just start something, God will do the rest. After the surgery, she no longer needed medication. She has been medication free since. To help keep her health stable, I become really focused on diet and detox. Considering that my other child has autism, I started thinking more about what was on our table. Around that time, especially Pinoy moms were all talking about different sorts of diets from GFCF, organic, anti-inflammatory, you name it. It educated me and opened my eyes to options I never considered before. We explored what worked for our family and tried to apply what we could realistically sustain. The challenge was, and still is, that not everyone understands this approach, and many aren't willing to. It's already exhausting to keep explaining why our kids cannot eat or be exposed to certain things, but it gets really stressful and painful when people would dismiss it with comments like, she can still be normal. Why not? You ate that one when you were a kid. Or, come on, it's a holiday. They deserve to enjoy these sweets. For me, it's about giving the kids the best shot at wellness in ways we can manage. Well, Kiona was later accepted in Singapore. Kiona was later accepted in a special school, Minds, which was also subsidized for 2 years. We took advantage of that. It gave her valuable education and social exposure at the right time. Therapy, however, remained a challenge. It's really expensive and she doesn't have any coverage. So we looked for affordable ways to help her. We hired playmates and home-based OT to keep her engaged in learning. We were lucky. Coach Bobong here, a kind friend, volunteered her precious time to bump up Kiona's academics. We are really grateful for that. Kiona was doing okay until puberty. At 15, she began having seizures and later diagnosed with hypothyroidism. So surprises never stop for a family, for a child with Down syndrome. A new chapter began, new routines, new medications, new fears. Today, she mostly stays at home and it breaks my heart. I dream of enrolling her in a skills training program, something that could help her grow, find purpose, and feel empowered. But once again, finances stayed in the way. That's really the hardest part, knowing exactly what your child needs, but not always being able to give it. Still, despite all, she remains our supergirl, brave, bright, and beautifully strong in her own quiet way. Even on the hardest days, she shines. To fellow parents, especially those raising children with disabilities, I see you. I understand the fear and the doubts. People will judge. You will feel overwhelmed, but you're not alone and you will find your way. Educate yourself. Ask for help. Hold on to what lifts you up and let go of what drags you down. You are your child's loudest voice and strongest shield. And to those who've never walked this path, we are not victims. We are parents doing what any parent would do, which is our best. Don't offer us pity, offer presence, offer understanding. Before I end, okay, I'm not taking too much of your time. Before I end, I want to tell you about a community that has made all the difference, especially for me. It's called Espesyal Pinoy. We are a support group for Filipino families in Singapore raising children with disabilities. It's a space to ask questions, share struggles, celebrate wins, and feel seen. We host meetups, help each other find resources, and remind one another that we don't have to do this alone. To join us here in Singapore, you can visit our website. Our Facebook is there, flash on screen. Sorry. Yeah. Or feel free to come and chat with me after this talk. I'll be happy to welcome you. Let's continue to lift up each other as we raise our beautiful and one-of-a-kind children. Thank you very much for listening to my story. You know, every family's journey is unique, but I hope something I shared today brought you comfort and courage, especially to fellow parents walking a similar path.